right out of high school, my dream job, or at least what I thought was my dream job, was to be a marketing director for a major corporation. And so I went to work for a local bank, and I started mentoring with a woman in their marketing department while I was in college. Well, about 6 months later, the bank filed bankruptcy, and I was all of a sudden out of a job and waving my dream job goodbye. Well, I heard through the family grapevine that my Uncle Dave was looking for somebody to work in his company. And so I went to work for Uncle Dave. And this is where my fascination with technology all started. My Uncle Dave owned a company that installed computers and computer systems, networks, into medical and dental practices. And so I helped build computers and install networks, and I did a lot of software support. So that went on for a couple years, and then my family moved to Whidbey Island, Washington. And I knew I did not want to do that ferry commute back and forth from the mainland to the Rock. And so in my local paper, in the Whidbey Island News, I found there was a dental office was looking for a front office person. And I thought, well, hey, I've installed computers into dental offices. I could work in a dental office. So I went to work for this amazing doctor on Whidbey Island. And he was going to be a little surprised hiring me with my technology background. Well, it took a few years of convincing, but after a few years, he was ready to upgrade the computer systems, and so I scheduled 3 demos to look at the top 3 practice management softwares and look to see who was going to upgrade our computers. Well, on the day of our Dentrix demo, who do you think walked in to do our Dentrix demo? My Uncle Dave. I know. My Uncle Dave had sold his computer company to the Henry Schein Corporation. And so, long story short, my dental practice converted to Dentrix. And after my 2 days of training, I was not satisfied with my skills and my knowledge of my new software. So I pulled out my 1,200-page manual and got my highlighter out and sticky notes everywhere, trying to learn this new practice management software. And this went on for a couple years, and I did my best. But in 2005, I received a notification through our fax machine that the state of Washington was looking for certified Dentrix trainers. And I thought, what better way for me to learn my software than to become a trainer? And that's why I became a certified Dentrix trainer. In January 2006, I started going out and doing Dentrix training. The doctor I was working for worked 4 days a week, so I had probably 4 or 5 days a month where I could go out and do some training, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I was learning a ton about the software. I was able to take my knowledge of working in the dental practice to other offices. But what started happening is I started to get a lot of questions. The dental assistants would come up to me and they would say, now Dayna, the doctors want us to put all this chart notes and everything in the computer now, and we are freaking out. Can you help us? And the doctors would pull me in the office because they didn't want anybody to know that they actually had a question, right? So the doctors would pull me into the office, and they would say, now, Dayna, my colleague down the street, he had a flood in his office, and his computer systems were broken. And they plugged in their backup tape, and it wasn't a good backup tape. My team hadn't been managing the backup, and they lost months' worth of data. I don't want that to happen. Can you help me? And the hygienists, they would gang tackle me in the corner, right? They would say, now Dayna, we have an hour to do our perio chart, take our x-rays, treat our patient, schedule the next appointment, and turn our room over. And you want me to do all of that in the computer? Are you crazy? Can you help us? And the front office team members would come up to me and they say, I'm hearing this rumor that in 2014, all dental practices are going to have to be paperless. Is that true? Can you help us? So these questions started making me think. And my gut was telling me, you can help these people. You love technology. You know their software. and you live in their shoes every day. You can help them. And so what do you do when you want to learn something new? You want to try out a new recipe. Well, you practice on the people that you love, right? So I went back to my own practice, and I turned my own practice into my own science lab. And my team members became my guinea pigs. And I practiced protocols, and I learned what it took to turn an office paperless. I learned the laws and the rules and efficiencies and all those kinds of things that it took to become paperless. And so that's how the Path to Paperless coaching program was born, was out of those questions and experiences in my own dental practice and my own clients. So it was about 2010, 2011, I guess it was, driving to a new office, and super excited, brand new paperless coaching office. And I was driving to the office, stopped at my local Starbucks so I could get my favorite coffee and my favorite blueberry scone. And I'm driving to the office, I pull into the parking lot, and I knew I was gonna be pretty close and up close with them all day, so pop a piece of Dentine ice gum into, so mask my coffee breath, right? Walk into the office, and the girls at the front office are laughing hysterically. And I'm like, cool, this is gonna be a fun day. Super excited. But they're laughing, and I'm going, well, bummer, I missed the joke. And as I'm walking into the office, I'm looking for a garbage can to throw my gum away, because I don't want to be chomping on my gum all day, right? And they're still laughing. I'm going, hey, I want to hear the joke. And I'm still looking for a garbage can to get rid of my gum. And finally, one of the gals at the front desk, she says, well, the doctor thought, since this was going to be our first session of going paperless, that we weren't going to use any paper after today, and so he got rid of all the garbage cans. Yeah, I know. So I want you to know that going paperless does not mean you're going to lose your garbage cans. You're not going to stop using paper. Going paperless does not mean I'm going to take your chart away, at least not in the beginning. But going paperless means something, and it means something to you. You're all here for a reason. You signed up for my class for a reason. You either have a frustration, you have a question, or you have an amazing idea that you want to share with everybody today. I want to find out what that is. So we're going to find out together why you're all here, and we're going to find solutions for why you're here. I can guarantee you that the reason you're here comes down to 3 key elements. And those key elements are creating efficiency, consistency, and security. So let's go.